Do you feel like life was better before the internet existed? Now, this is an important question in today's climate because there's a lot of negativity online right now. I'm not saying anybody specifically because it's all over. It's everybody. There's just tons of negativity. You can still find good stuff, though. So that may have always
this show.
Exactly. That may have always been there before the internet, but the internet has definitely brought it to the forefront, and it's made people more able to communicate in an easier fashion, for better and for worse.
Yeah.
So let me pose the question to you: do you feel like life was better before the internet? What's your take?
Okay, so I'm gonna split this up.
Okay.
I don't think that life was better before the internet. I'm not even sure if it was worse, though.
Yeah.
I do think the internet has made quality improvements to everybody's life and to...
In some ways, yes.
Yeah. Well, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Medical advancements, technology advancements.
Being able to reach people easier. Stuff like schools. They save money now because you're able to just, submit things online. Not everything has to be done with paperwork. Nature's being saved because everything's just done on the computer now instead of tons of paper. I will say that I don't know if life was better before social media, though.
Okay.
Social media...
Now, why do you say that?
Because social media is a crap show that has made people... to a lot of people, social media defines them, and so it's weird. You have one human being and you have another human being, and 20 years ago, those were just two different human beings, and you were judged on maybe your merits in life or your accomplishments. Now it's this person has 200,000 Twitter followers and this person has 20. So now their opinion is just more validated because if they don't. If they feel like they have an opinion, they can post on Twitter, and 100,000 people are going to agree with them,
or disagree. Now,
Sure.
Well, now you get into this with that statement. You're getting into the psychology of bubbles, where you say something and then everybody agrees with you, and the people who don't agree with you move outside of your bubble. So you're just talking to an echo chamber. Where it's like, I like this thing. Yeah, we all do too. We're all great. Yay! But you're disregarding millions of people.
People tend to agree with you more. They're following you for a reason.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of it's put this artificial self-importance that people have where it's someone's just a normal guy, but because they have this huge following online, they're just suddenly more important than you are. And it's the internet's that's caused that. And it's a dangerous and sometimes harsh place to live.
So actually, that's semi-circular logic, and let me paint it to you this way. So you're saying somebody has 100,000 followers.
Yep.
There's a perception that they're better than you.
Yes.
Right. If you have 200.
That what they have to say is more important than what you have to say.
But what the context you're using is, we'll use Twitter, right?
Sure.
So the person with 100,000 followers versus the person with 200 followers, you're saying the person who has 100,000 followers is more important than you are, but that's only within Twitter. That doesn't make them better than you as an actual human being in any way.
I guess it does to me because we work in an online industry. And so it actually does kind of affect you because we just saw, and I won't name any names, but we saw an argument happen where someone who was bigger in the industry was not really getting attacked, but super disagreed with, and most responses was who even are you? And it's he's a person who has an opinion. Whether that opinion's right or wrong doesn't matter. But the whole who even are you can't go around I don't know, I feel like you have less of a voice. And in this industry, most of our interactions are spent online. And so in the industry that we're in, having a high Twitter following opens up more opportunities than if you have nothing at all.
Definitely. So I see where you're coming from. Was life better before the internet? I think all the points that Mark made earlier about medical advancements and technology advancements and ability to educate yourself and learn more is there. I think the majority of people aren't utilizing those assets. Even myself, like there are things available to me right now that could teach me new abilities or skills that I might be able to have in life that I'm not taking advantage of.
Sure.
And other people aren't also. And that's on me. That's totally on me. It's there for me and I'm not using it. I do have a fairly large presence on Twitter, like 40,000 or so followers. And I don't know why, but I do pay attention to that. And it's cool that, like, I started Twitter, like, right when it started. And I started as a joke to mess with Corey, one of my coworkers at Screw Attack. I just tweeted literally every second of my day, like, walking up to my desk, going to the restroom, done with the restroom. That wasn't good. Sitting at my desk, and she was like, shut up. And now it's like it's circular because it's a feedback loop of positivity, but there's also the negative aspect. People are more able to today, if they want to, they can attack somebody. They can, and we've seen that online. They can also get together and elevate causes like Professor Broman when he and the Destiny community got together and they made all this money for St. Jude. So there's positive aspects also. Was life better before the internet? So that's the question I'm trying to answer my take on. And the challenge is, I think in one aspect that's made it worse. And I feel like, well, yes, it's easier to communicate with everybody on Twitter, on Facebook and everything. I feel like there is a disconnect still. You have this barrier of this computer, which you can use to communicate with somebody, but I'm safe here. I can never interact with them or anything like that but at the same time, it's a really difficult question to answer because at the same time there's Skype and I can talk to somebody in China. Like I talked to my girlfriend's mom.
But then
in
somebody
China.
that's not you gets to use this to say whatever they want. And it's oftentimes not good things that they're wanting to say.
Exactly. But that always existed.
How did that exist before the internet?
Magazines. People would publish magazines, or it was definitely hard. It was harder to do. There was a harder barrier to.
We're talking hundreds of thousand people now can just get on Twitter, get on Facebook, and just literally say whatever they want to say. They don't give a crap how it's affecting anybody.
But we choose to use the internet to see those messages. We could choose not to do that, but we all have emotional reactions, and we all have a desire, I think, as human beings to interact with other human beings.
Yeah.
Right? So we go on those online things, even if it's negative, and there's studies showing that people are more likely to respond to a negative emotion than a positive one. And I don't know why that is. It's just factually true. So if somebody puts anger out there, they're more likely to get an emotional response from somebody because I think psychologically we're more prone to respond if we're upset or we disagree because there's a point of friction.
And that has happened to me, which is why, like, I don't follow a ton of people on Twitter. If you go to my Twitter, I don't follow a ton of people. Maybe 1/10 of the people that follow me, which I don't have a lot of followers, but and I have a lot of people's retweets turned off.
Yeah.
Just because it's like there was a dark time like 3-4 weeks ago that like I just like couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, me and you talked about this
offline. Yeah.
Like I kind of stopped.
We didn't talk about it on the internet. We talked about it in person.
We talked about it in person. Yeah. Where it was like I even stopped like talking to people in real life. Like I rode the subway for 2 weeks just because it was like I just needed to be away from people. Yeah. Just because things on social media were just like getting to me.
Acidic almost.
So I went through and I turned off like everybody's retweets because it was like there's just like people that are just I want to know what you want to have to say, but then it's just like scrolling forever. And it's just people I don't know. And I'm like, I don't want to follow these people. And same with Instagram. I follow maybe, I don't know, 20 people. Like, I'm trying to kind of wean myself off of like always being online. And
definitely.
Trying to, talk to people online a lot.
So that's our take on the negative aspect of it. To reiterate, what were some of the positive things? The medical advancements, technology advancements, the tools that are available to you to learn.
Digital goods.
Digital
like
goods,
not
yeah.
having to. I'm not saying that leaving the house is a good or a bad thing, but like being able to just like rent a movie online,
Yeah.
or like buy a game online and
Exactly, and just have it shipped to your house via Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a whole separate topic, though, about has that been good for other businesses. So actually, we
Sure.
could go down a whole rabbit hole on this, but we're on the first topic. That's what we think. I would love to hear your analytical thoughts in the comments below on this one, just because it was such a robust topic that can kind of go in a lot of different directions.
Sure.
Oh man, we're gonna skip the serious one, Mark, and we're gonna go on to the next one for this topic.
So that way we don't do two serious ones in a row.
The second one's pretty serious. So,